there, folks, and welcome to another episode of Michael in the Backyard. Well, trying to stay productive, trying to get my hour a day in. There was a week there I didn't get the hour a day in, maybe about 7 days actually, because your boy was down with some stuff. But we're better now, for sure. Okay, check this out. This is something I acquired at let's call it an auction type situation where I work. And these things here came up for sale as a bench. This was an assembled bench. And I took it all apart because I thought, I could do something with all these parts and pieces. Now, I'm not a hoarder per se, but as my wife pointed out to me, I'm a keeper of things that I may use at a later date. And I'm somewhat organized. What are we doing today? Well, we're going to sneak inside here and show you what I want to do. So, as you guys know, I recently acquired a Bambu P2S Printer, and then I got to turn the music off because I don't want to get demonetized because there was something playing in the background. And so yeah, here's the P2S printer with the AMS Pro on the top. Eventually I'm going to get another AMS Pro. I have been printing what I would call useful things. I always had that problem in the past. I ran out of useful stuff to print that could actually withstand time and temperature, and mainly temperature and time, both. So, the dogs heard me talking down here. So, check this out. This is one of the things I've printed recently. And it's a nice little ammo box for my 9mm ammo. Pretty cool, huh? It's all printed out of ABS GF. That's glass-filled ABS. Here's another one I'm printing. That's what goes inside one of these boxes. But I'm not currently printing that right now. I'll be printing more here in a little bit, but I wanted to get this. I'm putting a key holder, key organizer, because all my e-bikes have keys for them, and I want to be able to label them and hang them up, not necessarily leave them on the bike at all times. Or, organize them. Well, what we're going to do with that blue tubing that I have out there is we've got a lot of filament here. I used to keep all my filament, and still do have filament in a drawer down here. Well, with the boss being heavily involved in 3D printing now herself, because she just can't get enough of it, she's actually printed more stuff on this P2S than I have printed to this time and date since the video I released on us acquiring this. This thing just works and functions well. Well, as you can see, this countertop has been done different things too over the years. I used to have sewing machines that sat flush in here when the boss and I used to sew up and sell cornhole bags through eBay. And then we sold over 10,000 bags that way through eBay. And that's been many, many moons ago. But what I want to do is create a rack now that can go right here in this area. So I got about 3 feet here. I got about 2 feet up to here. And I think I can, get at least 2 levels worth of stuff right here and be able to store the filament, next to the machine, and instead of having it currently stacked up like this and like this. So it's, let's just call it, for efficiency purposes, near the point of use. And then eventually we're going to get us a second AMS Pro for this machine. And possibly I want to be able to put a shelf over here to this side that I could put the second one on. And then this could all work together. All my materials would be over here. So let's go back out to the shop. I got some rough measurements from here. Let's take some of that tubing. We got a bandsaw and we got bolts. And let's just see what we can create to organize this a little bit better. And it'll make the boss really, really happy. Now the cool part about this assembly is It can be relatively simple. All it's got to do is be four vertical pieces, and the cross pieces can be spaced far enough apart that it allows the rolls to sit there or the filament that's still in the boxes. And I just noticed that this might actually benefit me. These tubes have one of these pressed into it, plus I kept all the hardware that I used, or that was used to assemble this. So I have a feeling there should be, let's just say, no additional expenses needed. When I say there's hardware, it's amazing what it takes to put something like this together. These are casters off of the two casters that were left on the thing that hadn't collapsed. So yeah, that's wow. That's a lot of hardware, as you can see. It's full. Now this is kind of it's not rubber coated, it's a powder coated material. Plus we have a whole bunch of these caps that are here. So we're gonna have some fun. Because I think I want the uprights are gonna be 5.5 inches apart. 5.5 inches to the inside edge is where the radius of that spool will sit, and let it just sit down in there, and it's also the same 5.5 inches will work for the box turned on edge sitting in there lined up as well. So I want to be able to space these apart, and I think these bolts with these pressed-in pieces are going to help, because I'll be able to, you know, do something, let's just say like this. With the proper link bolt, I can just sandwich stuff together like that. That'll be pretty rigid, and I could use this for spacing it front to rear. And I know that I need 5.5 inches, so I need 4 of them to make front to back upright. Then I can do the same thing, put these in the ends for the piece that go across, which would be about 36 inches wide. So, and then I got all these caps here that we can, I think, pretty easily salvage and pop out. And we put end caps on things, plastic feet that can sit on the countertop so it don't mar up the countertop, and finish out. There's lots of good stuff here. And as you guys know, this can be made out of wood. It can be made out of a variety of materials. As you guys know, I like steel. Yeah, see, those pop right out. Nice. I'm curious about these ends. How easy do they come out? Piece of heavy wall tube that I've been using for the Jeep product. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, these have like a barb type effect, so that's cool. So I can knock that out. I only got to knock it out of one end because I'm going to saw the rest. So let's get 4 of these going. Let's see here. Real quick, DIY projects like this are always fun. So I can stack these up in the saw and cut them all 4 at the same time at 5.5 inches. Being it's thin wall tubing, here I've got some of the other tubing I've already brought in over here sitting precariously on the trash can, ready for me to make a tremendous amount of noise with it when it falls. Now the question before I make that first cut is, let me think this through for a minute, because I've got plenty of depth on the countertop. Because I can make the top 5.5, and then I could have another layer out front. just to take advantage of the more space, you know. That way I could have this front to back piece be longer on the bottom. Create some uprights that only come yay high on the front. The back goes up even taller. So being modular, we're gonna do the back piece first, and then I can be modular to the front. I think we'll do that. Let's just have fun bolting and playing here. And go in pretty tight. Now, my place where I have this that can go is 3 feet long, but this tubing here is currently 35 inches. I'll sacrifice that inch just so I don't have to do any extra cutting. Why not? Now, what I want to do is be able to bolt these end to end like this. So I'm going to need some short bolts, kind of like this size. We'll do a test bolt, and I'll go get a reel and a box, and we'll just double check the fit. These caps are designed as such so they have a little cutout. So if you got a bolt running through right at the end, it lets you run it right through at the very end. And keep your cap. They've thought of everything. All right. This is not heavy wall tubing, so you don't want to just impact it till the water runs out. Just give it a few of those. Is all it's going to be able to tolerate. Now you guys know me, this I would normally take an object like this and weld it together, but that was easy. So now let's go get a spool and a box and see how that's going to look. Then we can put some feet under it. Okay, here I have a box of filament, and here's the roll. So as you can see, we can bring that up about that far off the table, and it sits perfect. I like that. Question is, how tall is that roughly? Looks like 2 inches would be plenty. Let's go 2.5. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do, since we got, you know, all these little pieces that are little modular pieces, leftover pieces, short pieces, and whatnot, the 4 feet I need are right here. And all I got to do is cut these 4 of these off to 2.5 inches. Yeah, Then I could stab another one of those little end cap things into here and bolt it in straight in. Easy peasy. Okay, let's cut these off 2.5. Being mindful of where the holes are at, we'll go 2.25. Yep, that'll work. While that's cutting, I'm gonna need to knock out 4 more end caps. Here they are right here. Now at this point in time, I'm not even discarding these little short pieces because you see the feet, they can work for feet. And again, not over tightening these because it's not, this tubing can collapse really easily. And just what I'm giving that little impact that I'm giving it right there is plenty tight for what this is and what it's going to be required to do. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Get back here. Just like that, it's suspended. Now a box will sit there and not touch the countertop, and a spool will sit there as well. And I could get, if I didn't have legs going up, see, I could put the vertical legs holding it together on the end here. So I can get all the way to the face. So just for funsies, we got, let's call it 3 inches. 3 inches would be generous. And we've got, call it 33. We can get 11 spools of stuff here between boxes or spools. I like that a lot. Yeah, because I can go up right off the ends here at any given spot and not interfere with anything here. So I like that part. So now if I was to put my next one up, where would I put it? You know, it's going to be here, but how do I want to connect it? I think I want to create the same rectangle I've already created here. And then I can put verticals in between here and get it up where I want. And I tell you what, the way this is going, I might be able to get 3 levels out of this with ease. That's exciting. Okay, so we'll set this aside for now. Since I've already got these 2 pieces of material, we can go ahead and bolt them together the same way. Gotta find more bolts. Must have more bolts. Folks, in all its glory, all built. We ended up with 4 shelves on this thing. I only put the 3 on, then I realized I had room for another and I needed more for more material up here. So that turned out pretty well, don't you think? So we slid the machine down here, right? And then I made this room here. This is modular. I could take it all apart if I want to, but right now that holds all the filaments I have except for this drawer here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 partial rolls. And we'll figure out a project to use those up on so we get them consumed. But this is my ABS, and this is my ABS shelf and ASA. And down there's ASA here and ABS glass filled. But the rest of this is the boss's. This is all her PLA. It's ours. It's all ours. But this will be good for her. With point of use, we can switch it out. It's all kinds of coolness here. This just makes it feel professional. Professional grade. All right, folks. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for participating in my little projects. And don't be afraid to leave comments down below. I had just enough of those little inserts in here to do 4 shelves, and that's it. If I was doing something different, I'd have to kind of bolt it together differently, but that worked out really well. This is a sturdy shelf. In case you were wondering on some of the dimensions, outside, this is 1-inch square tubing here, so make your adjustments as needed. So get your pencil out, write it down, pause, go get your pencil and write it down. From back of outside measurement, the outside measurement of this tubing is currently 7 3/4. That allows these rolls to come in and out with ease. I currently have these spaced out at 8 inches. This is spaced out a little bit more at 9 inches because these boxes are bigger. But the other advantage you have here as well, if I wanted to, I could store all these boxes at an angle like this too. So they could be just like that, and then you can still grab and pull them out. So far, we've decided to put them in here flat. We've got that option. And we can keep it all faced off and square and pretty. You don't have to adjust the front and the back if you do the angle thing. Even these bigger boxes here that have, these actually have